The deep blue waters of the Eastern Mediterranean have long been a cradle of civilization, a crossroads of empires, and a vital artery for global trade. Today, this historic sea is again at the center of a complex geopolitical drama. The discovery of natural gas beneath its seabed has turned promise into peril, drawing warships and sharpening rhetoric. At the heart are two NATO allies, Greece and Turkey, whose rivalries are supercharged by energy wealth. This is bigger than borders. European energy security, regional stability, and international maritime law are all in play. The core dispute is maritime jurisdiction, where one zone ends and another begins. With ships and aircraft operating in tight quarters, a minor incident could escalate fast. As of September 27, 2025, Europe's energy transition heightens the urgency and the stakes. These tensions are the latest chapter in a turbulent history. The Ottoman collapse, the birth of modern Turkey and Greece, wars, population exchanges, and bitter disputes. Thousands of Greek islands, many just off Turkey's coast, have kept the Aegean a persistent source of friction. UNCLOS underpins Greece's arguments. Disputes span waters, airspace, and the militarization of islands. Turkey, not a signatory, emphasizes equity and the continental shelf, citing cases like Castellarizo just 2 kilometers from its coast. Ankara's Blue Homeland Doctrine asserts expansive maritime claims across 3 seas. Past standoffs in 1987 and 1996 brought both sides to the brink before diplomacy pulled them back. Gas didn't create the rivalry, it poured fuel on embers that already burned. Now the stakes are higher than ever. Turkey dispatched the seismic vessel Oruk Reis with naval escorts into waters Greece claims near Castellarizo. Athens called it a direct challenge, put forces on alert, and shadowed the flotilla at close quarters. A dangerous cat and mouse followed. Doctrine turned into practice. Competing treaties, Greece with Egypt, Turkey with Libya, etched overlapping lines at sea. The Oruk Reis returned to port, hailed as an opening. Ankara said surveys could resume if talks falter. Legal disputes can morph into military standoffs, fast. Only a sustainable, peaceful process will hold. Which vision prevails will shape the sea's future. Greece grounds its case in UNCLOS. Islands generate territorial seas and EEZs. Example, Castellarizo. Athens favors legal channels and coalition building with EU partners and neighbors. Turkey argues equity and continental shelf should prevail over maximalist island claims. Deployments at sea are leverage, creating facts to force negotiations on Ankara's terms. The Libya deal was designed to disrupt opposing blocs and assert Turkey's map. Ultimately, Ankara seeks a comprehensive rearrangement, acknowledging it as a major coastal state. For Athens, rights under international law are non-negotiable and must be respected. Law versus politics, a fundamental divide. The dispute has become an international chessboard with the EU in a difficult spot. Brussels shows solidarity and threatens sanctions, but responses vary. Paris hardlines, Berlin mediates. Washington balances allies, wary of Ankara-Moscow ties, while tilting via Suda Bay and energy partnerships. Regional partners drill together and push the East Med pipeline to bypass Turkey. An energy dispute has widened into a broader geopolitical contest across MENA. A hesitant, fragmented EU often waters down threats. Athens presses for more decisive action. Stability on NATO's southern flank is on the line. As patrols continue and rhetoric heats up, finding a viable off-ramp is paramount. Greece wants delimitation of EEZ and continental shelf resolved at the ICJ within a rules-based framework. Athens insists the scope be narrow and not reopen sovereignty questions. Turkey prefers immediate, unconditional bilateral talks on the full spectrum: zones, demilitarization, airspace, and islets. Mediators focus on deconfliction at sea and in the air to buy time for exploratory talks. Law versus politics remains the central obstacle. Both sides must engage without appearing to betray core principles. Lowering immediate risks can open the door to real dialogue. The Eastern Mediterranean is a geopolitical flashpoint with global consequences. An optimistic path: de-escalation, mediation, substantive talks, compromise on boundaries, joint ventures, or ICJ referral. A pessimistic path: frozen cycles of tension and calm that deter investment and leave energy untapped. The gravest risk is accidental or intentional escalation that spirals amid nationalist fervor. A conflict would shake NATO, test international law, and open space for rival powers. Energy, history, and national pride make a volatile mix. A peaceful outcome would prove diplomacy can tame even the oldest rivalries, but failure would send shockwaves far beyond the sea, showing how underwater riches can still reignite old fires.